Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Combating Cancer. My name is Gwen Kelly, and I'm your host. And if you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm so glad you found this platform, truly. This community means the world to me, and whether you're in active treatment, in remission, caregiving, grieving, or just trying to understand cancer in some way, this space is for you. A space where the hard days are allowed, the messy emotions are welcomed, and nobody has to pretend to be strong every second of the day. A little background about me: I was diagnosed with stage 3 astrocytoma brain cancer at 19 years old. And yes, that is just as wild, terrifying, and life-altering as it sounds. Today, stepping into the new year soon, I wanted to talk about why I started this podcast, what I've learned, and how all of you have changed me in ways I never expected. If someone told 19-year-old me that I'd one day host a cancer podcast, I would have laughed, cried, and then probably asked if they were okay. Because when I was diagnosed, the last thing I wanted was attention. I didn't want to be the girl with cancer. I didn't want the pity, the questions, and I definitely didn't want to talk about my feelings. I barely told my friends what was happening. I posted almost nothing. I convinced myself that if I didn't speak it out loud, it wasn't real. Spoiler, that's not how life works, but nice try, Gwen. Looking back now, I wasn't just scared of the diagnosis, I was scared of what people would think of me, scared of being seen as weak, fragile, different, and the truth is, I felt so alone. I felt like the only person my age dealing with something this heavy. I would go online searching for someone, anyone, who could describe what cancer feels like when it crashes into your life before you even figure out who you are. But everything I found was either clinical, written by doctors, or tailored to people decades older. The loneliness was suffocating. A couple years later, post-surgery, post-treatment, post-trying to act totally fine when I wasn't, something shifted. I reconnected with my faith, and suddenly this idea of sharing my story kept weighing on my heart. It wasn't a gentle nudge. It was loud, persistent, and honestly a little bit annoying. It was share your story. Someone needs to hear this. Someone needs the words you never had. I tried to ignore it. I tried to outrun it. I tried to pretend the idea was not mine, but it wouldn't go away. It felt like a calling. One of those things you can't really explain, but you also can't shake. So finally, I thought, okay, God, I hear you. But do we really need to do a podcast? Can't we just journal privately like normal people? I mean, apparently not. So one day, terrified out of my mind, I hit record. Let me tell you, that first episode, brutal, painful, a true test of human endurance. Mostly for anyone who listened to it, I was shaky, nervous, overthinking every single word. I think I re-recorded it about 12 times, and then one day I said, you know what, forget it, I'm posting it. And that was the beginning of everything. To this day, people tell me how much I've grown. A friend recently said, Gwen, your newest episode sounds like an entirely different person. And honestly, they're right. I didn't just find my voice for podcasting, I found my voice for myself. That's the wild part about healing. It's not loud, it's not glamorous, it's slow, awkward, uncomfortable, and mostly invisible until one day someone points out how far you've come. And the biggest blessing of this podcast has been the people I've met. I've spoken with fighters battling for their life, survivors rebuilding piece by piece, parents grieving their children, caregivers holding everything together, young adults trying to make sense of a completely different future. Every single story has changed me. Every single voice has stayed with me. There have been moments where I'm interviewing someone and I'm thinking, I should not be the one hosting this. I should be taking notes from them. And then there are these moments where we laugh so hard, usually about something dark and unhinged, because cancer humor really is its own language. And these people have become part of my heart. They have taught me grace, strength, and resilience in ways I've never expected. And talking to so many people, here's the truth. Every single diagnosis is different. Every treatment path is different. Every outcome is different. But emotionally, we are all walking the same road. Everyone is trying to rebuild their identity, redefine their sense of normal, process the trauma, grieve who they used to be, accept a future they didn't choose, and hold on to hope even when it feels impossible. It doesn't matter what kind of cancer someone had. the emotional journey is almost always the same. And that realization changed everything for me. And it made me realize none of us are as alone as we feel. I started combating cancer to help other people, and what I didn't expect was how much it would help me too. Talking through my story, the grief, the fear, the identity loss, the guilt, the why me, the parts I hated about myself, it's been therapeutic in a way I can't fully explain. For so long, I kept everything inside, but now I speak honestly, sometimes too honestly. And I let myself feel things. I don't hide behind the I'm fine anymore. This podcast has given me permission to be human again. And hearing your guys' messages and stories and struggles, it has helped me heal wounds I didn't even know were still open. And as we enter the new year, I feel a renewed sense of purpose for this podcast. I want to talk more about the things nobody warns you about, the survivor's guilt, the friendships that fall apart, the emotional crash after treatment, dating after cancer, identity shifts, the reality of grief years later, the sensory overload, the anxiety, the brain fog, rebuilding confidence when you don't recognize yourself anymore. I want to bring on more survivors, caregivers, grieving parents, young adults, anyone whose voice deserves to be amplified. I want this podcast to be the thing I desperately needed when I was 19 and Googling things I had no business Googling. I want it to be a lifeline, a community, a comfort, and a reminder that healing is not linear and you don't have to go through it alone. And before we wrap up, I just need to say this. Thank you. Thank you for listening, for supporting me, for letting me show up authentically, messy, emotional, sarcastic, and hopeful. Thank you for trusting me with your stories and for being proof that turning pain into purpose is real. You guys have changed my life in ways I will never be able to put into words. I love this community so much, and I am so grateful for everyone involved. And if today's episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need it. If you want to come on the podcast and share your story, or if you have topics, questions, or even business or sponsorship inquiries, my door is always open. Just reach out. Well, I hope everyone has a great start to the new year. Thank you for being a part of combating cancer, and I will chat with you guys next Wednesday.